Hey everyone, Navik here, and this is my review of the Ultimates issue number 7. And this issue definitely feels like a breather from the intensity of issue 6, which, considering our last issue ended with our heroes getting their asses kicked by a bunch of Kung Fu Gamma mutants. Yeah, and they definitely need this breather issue, and the readers definitely need it as well. And before we go, one thing I want to say is that I really like Jim Hammond's civilian look in this universe. There's in the regular Marvel universe, he definitely looked a bit too much like Steve. He had the classic short blonde hair, blue-eyed, strong jawed, golden age look. So I do like that he at least looks distinct from Steve when he's not even civilian in disguise. We still don't know that much about Jim's origin stuff. Probably going to be explained whenever he gets a focus issue, but we do know apparently it took him a while to get the hang of eating and drinking without vomiting superheated plasma. So that's interesting, at least. And we do, and how his conversation with Steve does kind of reveal how long lived he is alongside Captain America. And one thing I do want to highlight, next thing I want to highlight for this issue is that it displays one of the best aspects of the new Ultimate Universe: the fact that it moves and ages in real time. Just like how there's a month in between the release of individual issues, there's a month that happens in between each issue, which basically means that the Ultimate Universe has aged a year in real time. Because it is December 2024 in this book, just like it is currently as I'm recording it. It's just like how the events of last issue took place in November of this year in the Ultimate Universe. And yeah, it kind of gives the universe its own feel. It kind of makes it feel more lived in. It kind of makes it feel like time and characters are moving and aging in real time. It's kind of like what the original New Universe was going to try to do in the 80s, but they kind of fumbled that a bit. Yeah, you definitely feel this in person because us in the background of this issue, who aside from all the character stuff, is the fact that it's been the 1 year anniversary of the end of the Ultimate Universe one shot, where the council basically framed Iron Lad and the Ultimates for basically a terrorist attack. And yeah, there's a bit of reflection of that, but we also get some hints at future plot points throughout this issue. For example, we get a brief aside with Hawkeye, where they basically go raid an Oscorp defense and stack, and one of the employees mentions that there's a war going on in the Upper and Lower Kingdoms, a secret war. That might be a future plot point. And we also later see when America Chavez has saved some protesters from getting brutalized by a bunch of cops. She talks a bit about where she's from, and I'm hinting that when she thinks about the past, she ends up thinking about the future, which it's kind of been spoiled by the solicitations for issue 9. Issue 8, but yeah, America Chavez is definitely a time traveler being hinted at in this issue. And I honestly feel the sequence of America Chavez is kind of like the more optimistic note that a lot of people would probably need right now. And we also get hints in this 2-page spread, and he turned out its side. No one showed us to Linkara. He'll probably freak out. But there's going to be an Asgardian rebellion Asgard led by Sword Sith against Loki. So that's probably going to be really cool to see. And there's also a lot of really great and somber character moments. After their first major loss, it would kind of feel weird if there wasn't. Because we got Jim and Steve talking about how they're going to need to lead the Ultimates in times of war, putting a toast to most of their fellow Golden Age heroes who didn't get to live to see the modern day. Maybe got Hank and Jan just letting everything that happened settle over them, trying to processing, but at least they kind of after everything that happened throughout the first 6 issues, and especially what happened to Tony, they are feeling a bit unsure about their mission. But at least they have each other. And the last bit we got that's also pretty sad is this bit between She-Hulk and Doom. She-Hulk wants to return to her people, but as Doom points out, out. They'll basically, at the moment he like goes back, they'll try to discover or where the Triskelion is through her, and that'll put the rest of the Ultimates in jeopardy. So it seems for the moment She-Hulk can't return to her people on Monster Island, and which that sucks. And we also get a little bit of characterization from Doom, which man, Doom is definitely one of the saddest people in this book because as Tony was probably the only real friend he had left, and now Tony's fate is uncertain. As we see in the end of the issue, he's kind of comatose and in some kind of healing stasis, and a lot of his body is stitched up and broken, and so we'll have to see if he recovers or is at any point in the future issue. And it definitely seems like his motivation, like what happened to him, is going to be the motivation for the team to keep moving forward with their mission, and as dangerous and as hopeless it might be. But again, as we see with the bits, with some of the small bits between America Chavez as giving the people and giving the protesters or some hope for the future, or Hank and Jan being together, and Jim and Steve still being resolute and doing what's right. I do think there is hope for this team, in which, that's always good to have going forward in dark times. So for all that and more, I'm giving the Ultimates issue 7 a 5 out of 5. I have said it before and I'll say it again, this is one of the best books on the shelf. Well, you are doing yourself a major disservice if you're not reading it. And so go check it out, especially as Ultimates. It is now going to be going into year 2 next month. I hope you guys will be with me for future reviews. Thank you for watching. And until then, I'll see you next time. Have a great day.